there are only 92.
Yes, ma'am.
At the moment, there are only 92 certified assistive technology instructional specialists in the world that have the ACVREP CATIS credential. In 2019, ACVREP, that is the Academy for the Certification of Vision Rehabilitation and Education Professionals for the Blind and Visually Impaired, ACVREP, reached out to us, to World Services for the Blind, to really create a solution to grow the field of certified assistive technology instructional specialists. Again, this was 2 years ago, and the agreement was that World Services for the Blind would bring our current assistive technology instructor program up to the standards for CATIS. So from 2019 onward, we really worked hard to get our program up to ACVREP standards. And what I'm going to be telling you guys today is I'll be talking about the path to certification, which through WSB will be Category 3. You would be considered a Category 3 applicant. I'll explain that. And then also I'll be talking about the difference between our CATIS program and our General Assistive Technology Instructor program. These programs are offered both online and on campus. While I'm going through this, I would like you guys to also follow along with me. I'm not going to take a deep dive, but we're going to try and touch on all the main points. So follow along with me on our website. That's wsblind.org/assistive-technology-instructor. Again, that's wsblind.org/assistive-technology-instructor. That will take you directly to this website with all the information, explanation of the different tracks. That way, if you miss something in this webinar, which is being recorded and will also be sent out later, you're able to follow along. If you have any questions, we will have an opportunity for questions and answers at the end of the webinar. So be sure you hang around and get those questions into the chat. So first thing I'm going to talk about is our application process, just so we can get that out of the way. We do have an online application. It's wsblind.org, and then admissions application. And on that, or you could just go to wsblind.org and click admissions. There's an application there. Fill out as much as you can. The start date for this program, for the CATIS program, will be January of 2022. We want to create a large group of individuals to get started.
Join the meeting.
That will be starting January 2022. That also gives us time to get as many applicants as we can through the admissions process and prepared and ready to start. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Certified Assistive Technology Instructional Specialist certification, this is a certification that empowers individuals, that empowers blind and visually impaired individuals to achieve their life goals in education, employment, avocation, and independence through the use of assistive technology. The beauty of the CATIS certification, separate from the WSB ATI certification, is that it qualifies you to work for a K-12 institution or federally regulated organizations like state agencies for the blind, veterans associations, and those types of organizations. With the assistive technology instructor certification from World Services, our students are mostly employed at nonprofits, not-for-profits, or they're working in a contractor position as a consultant. So this really does expand the field of assistive technology instructors. And I know, as well as most of you guys do, that this is definitely going to have a very positive impact on assistive technology instructors, as well as have a positive impact on the services provided to blind and visually impaired individuals while they're still in K-12 and while they're going through vocational rehabilitation services. Because this is definitely a certification you can take and work with a Department of Rehab or vocational rehabilitation. So we are accredited to offer path to CATIS via the Category 3 application. What that means is an individual who has a high school diploma can go through our program, earn 350 instructional hours, as well as pass our course, which meets the core competency areas of ACVREP's CATIS, and then sit for the certification, or excuse me, then earn an additional 1,150 hours through employment or an internship, then sit for the certification. So again, 1,500 hours of instruction, as well as passing our course. World Services for the Blind we're very excited to be the first organization that's not a university to have accreditation by ACVREP to offer path to CATIS. I hope we're not the only ones, but we're very excited to have this opportunity and to grow the field of assistive technology instructors. As I said, CATIS are qualified to teach K-12 and state agencies. So what will you learn in our CATIS course? So per ACVREP's website and their guidelines for a CATIS, there are 4 core domain areas of a certified assistive technology instructor. Those are assessment, instruction, configuration, and exploration. Throughout the 12 to 24 months of our CATIS program, an individual will go through each one of these 4 core domain areas and receive full instruction on and really how to be an efficient assistive technology instructor, and more importantly, pass that CATIS exam. So when we're talking about assessment, we're talking about really evaluating an individual's needs for assistive technology, whether that's in their home, their workplace, a hobby, church, any civic group, anything. We want to meet them where they are. You've got to assess them where they are. And one thing that you learn in our assistive technology instructor program is how to get an idea of where somebody is in their life, what they need as far as technology. And then you're going to be evaluating and learning to evaluate them throughout their progress. So that means creating lesson plans, writing progress reports, everything that you'll have to do as an employed assistive technology instructor. And then the instruction, part 2 of the core domain areas, you're going to be learning, again, how to write lesson plans, how to lead, and how to teach multiple different types of folks, again, K-12 all the way up through older individuals who are blind. And you've got to be able to teach to individuals as well as large groups. If you are going through our assistive technology instructor program, whether that be on campus or online, you will have a caseload of students who are in need of services. So you do get absolutely get a hands-on experience of what it's like to teach someone who, well, you're really going to get multiple different experiences of working with people at different points in their life. As far as configuration, this is really hands-on the technology. You're going to learn everything from managing peripherals, keyboard, mice, headphones, setting up everything with a computer, getting your hands on a computer, even to a low IT level. You'll learn the knowledge. You'll learn the knowledge required to be a software and hardware IT support specialist, but you won't take the A+ certification. That is pretty extensive, but it's important as an assistive technology instructor to be able to take a look at the environment an individual is in, get an idea of the technology they're using, make the changes if you're able to, but really be able to talk to other individuals who work in the technology field. And you will definitely be able to talk to other individuals in the technology field because you're going to be working alongside individuals with the same goal as you for a year to a year and a half plus, depending on how much time you need in the course. So the difference between, and then exploration, the 4th core domain area, is really exploring the field of assistive technology, continuing to grow yourself as a professional, looking for those opportunities for continued education, getting to know other solutions out there for individuals like the clients you're serving, and just continuing to grow. As I said, only 92 individuals have the CATIS certification at the moment, and our goal is to grow that. We don't have a number in mind. If I had to throw a number at the wall, I'd like to see 30 over the next year and a half, and I think that's very doable. And it's a powerful certification, but more importantly, as someone who grew up in the system, I can tell you I did not receive much assistive technology instruction. It was more something that I received maybe 1 to 2 hours a week. Everything else I figured out on my own, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. And especially, we've got a lot of teachers of the visually impaired that need that support. And as a certified assistive technology instructor, you would be able to go in, work alongside teachers of the visually impaired, as well as vocational rehabilitation counselors, and provide them the support, the technology support to their clients, their consumers, so they can do their job and provide assistance to their client without having to worry about technology. And this is definitely a good opportunity for teachers of the visually impaired or vocational rehabilitation counselors to learn a little bit more about technology if this is something you're interested in. I really encourage you. There's a great need for assistive technology instructors. We've got awesome partnerships with organizations that help promote independence and assistive technology for blind and visually impaired individuals. So we're really excited to see where this goes. The primary differences between the CATIS certification and the WSB ATI certification, which will continue, is our ATI certification is a 9 to 12 month course, and you're only required to teach 350 hours while you're here. And as I said, we've already got an 85% employment placement rate among our graduates, and they're going out and working with not-for-profit organizations serving blind and visually impaired individuals without a CATIS certification. We do have a very reputable program that sets individuals up for success, and they're capable of doing the job. The beauty of the CATIS certification is this makes them qualified to have upward mobility and not just have to stay to not-for-profit organizations. They can continue to serve more clients in the vocational rehabilitation space in their state, which really, I'm all about paying it forward. If any of you know me, that's just who I am, and especially making sure that we're providing the best service to our clients and consumers as possible. So as I said, ATI WSB program, 9 to 12 months. That's not CATIS, that's our program, our original program. 350 teaching hours with Microsoft instructional proficiency, as well as JAWS, NVDA, and Zoom text. And all of those are required for the CATIS track as well. It's just more of a summary of what a CATIS will need to know. So at this moment, I would like to open it up for questions. I've kind of touched on, there's a lot to talk about, but I want to answer questions because I know you guys have them. As I said, be sure you go look at our website, and if you have any questions about what we're showing on there, be sure you send us an email at training@wsblind.org, or you can just give us a call, 501-664-7100. So we'll go ahead and open it up for questions, and you guys have the floor.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, I did put it in the chat, but I'm an older person. I lost my sight maybe 10 years ago, but I still have some sight. I'm legally blind. I'm very functional. I wonder if I would fit into this program because there's so many. I can still work. I'm a paralegal, but they don't want me in the office because it's a lot of issues. They say you're a liability, et cetera. But I have learned, I've always knew how to use a computer. And so I do have a background in working. I wonder if I would fit into this program, is the bottom line on the question, not to take up everybody's time.
That's not something I can answer for you, but it sounds like, and I tell people, it's not the passion for technology. You can learn the technology, but you've got to remember this is an instructor. This is a program to teach you to be a teacher. So we have a lot of people who are like, I love technology. Well, you've also got to love the people even when they're not picking it up or they're not moving as fast as you are. And that's something we teach. So if that does sound like something you're interested in, reach out to us and we can definitely talk to you about that. But as I said, it's more of an instructor's program. You come with the passion to teach and provide a service, and you might have a passion for technology, but I would always say in this program, it's going to be people first, technology second.
Well, okay, if that's it, then I can do that because I have great empathy, compassion. I do a lot of pro bono work since I couldn't get back into the regular job market. So if it's about people, yeah, I that is one of the things I see where I'm going to help to be an assistant because I still have sight. And I'm very
Well,
grateful
we'd
for
love
that.
to have you. Reach out to us.
I definitely will. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Well, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Well, I have almost the same kind of question, but it is in opposite way. As far as I could understand, this is the wrong webinar for me because I do have a job. I work in accessibility field. Actually, I work for the bank, but I don't want to teach anyone. I would like to improve my knowledge in accessibility area, an area of learning about website or to dive deeper into the accessibility. But here we are talking about mostly, teaching and serving blind clients. Yeah. And so did I get it right that it's not my path? I need to find any other course, and maybe you could recommend me any course that I could be I could grow in a certified professional. Thank you.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a course for individuals who are wanting to teach individuals who are blind and visually impaired. We don't offer any really accessibility courses at the moment. I do see a demand for that, but we don't have any at the moment. But thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much.
I have a question.
I have a question. Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead. You can ask your question.
Oh, I'm sorry. My question is what is the rigor for the CATIS certification? Are you saying this is just an assistive technology course, or after completing your course, we will have a CATIS certification that will be recognized in areas like the Department of Veteran Affairs?
Right. So the course is the test prep. So if you go through our course, you will be prepared to sit for the CATIS certification. But you also have to have the instructor hours. That is the 350 teaching hours in the course, and then the additional 1150 on the job. And one of my passions here is establishing internships with like-minded organizations. So we definitely have opportunities for internships for you to get the additional 1150. But yeah, once you finish the course, you will be eligible to sit for the certification exam.
So you don't actually get the CATIS certification. Your course will prepare you for that.
Right. That's ACVREP and WSB agreed that this will be a path to take the exam. Like any other professional certification, you have to have some coursework to show that you are capable and you understand the field, this is the school work prior to the exam.
So what hours are you saying that we would need to take in the field? You mean AT hours?
Yeah, you would have to teach 350 in our program under the supervision of one of our certified instructors. And then you would be also required to earn 1,150 teaching hours in the field if you don't have those already. If you do have those count.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for joining.
Can you hear me?
I have a question.
I can.
For the internships, then, is that done remotely as well?
It can be. We can either do on-site supervised internships or we can do off-site supervised internships.
Do you guys organize that, or?
We do, yeah. We will see. I will make sure that once an individual is enrolled in our program, that they're guided all the way through the process.
Okay, I'm from Missouri, and I don't know,
Okay.
before COVID, they did not authorize us to do remote training with anybody. Have you guys had any success with that lately?
Right. So that contract is under review at the moment. But that's correct. Missouri is not offering. We are not authorized to provide
that
remote
is?
training to.
Why do you think
Missouri.
that is? Because it wouldn't save them money instead of having somebody go there, room, board.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, okay, I know you can't really say. That's okay, but it just kind of irks me because I just rather do it remotely. I don't, sorry, I just don't.
Well, we definitely understand there's a lot of individuals that can't make it out of their home, and we're right there with you. We're working on that. So but
I
yeah.
have a question about that too. When you get, I was told, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wondered, this is Eden. I was told that this might not be a good field. I was somewhat interested in this. I've been going between it and the credit counseling. And the main reason I had thought about credit counseling was someone told me that finding remote work in this field might be difficult. Would you think that would be the case, or? Because I would want to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Finding remote work as an assistive technology instructor is definitely not likely.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to check.
Yeah. Now I think there definitely was remote work during COVID, but that was special circumstances. Most individuals who are in need of assistive technology.
Yeah, they don't know enough. Yeah, to be.
No, and you're gonna have to be hands-on with them. So absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Good luck on the training, though. It sounds like a good program.
Yeah, good question.
Hello, I have a question, please.
Oh, I wasn't done.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on one second. We've got individuals. Do we have some in the chat as well?
Yes.
We're gonna answer a few from the chat of individuals who aren't able to jump in. That way I'm gonna try and get to as many people as we can. So go ahead, Lee.
We have a few questions from Facebook from if they've already completed the ATI certification. Do they still have to complete the 350 hours?
So a question coming through is, if an individual has already completed the WSB ATI certification, do they have to complete additional training, go through that program again, and the additional hours? So if an individual has gone through the WSB ATI program within the past 2 years, we will require that you pass a comprehensive exam, as well as provide proof of an up-to-date JAWS, NVDA, and Zoom Tech certifications. That way we know that your knowledge is still where it is. And then you go through the additional 6 to 12 months of CATIS test prep. So if you have teaching hours that you've earned between then and now, and you've got an employer who will sign off on those, we will use those. ACVREP will also use those. That's a good question.
From Sarah Hale to everyone.
Oh, we have more chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone asked, what are the differences of job opportunities for ATI instructors who get a master's versus the WSB CATIS?
So the question was, what's the difference between someone who earns their assistive technology instructor certification with a master's degree and someone who earns their CATIS via the WSB program? There is no difference. And the beauty of the ACVREP WSB agreement is that the CATIS certification is a CATIS certification. If you go to if you're applying for a job and they require that you have the CATIS certification, it is recognized by ACVREP, not WSB. That's the awesome part of this partnership and this agreement and this accreditation, is that this is the same CATIS certification that you would take had you attended a master's degree assistive technology program. So as I said, the point of this partnership is to meet the needs of, well, the growing needs of individuals who need assistive technology instruction and to grow the field of AT instructors. So that's a good question.
We have another one here. After getting the 1,500 hours, is there a physical location to take the CATIS, or is it all online?
Question was, after earning all the required prerequisites, including the 1,500 hours, is there a required testing location, or is it all online? ACVREP does require you take the certification exam through a testing center in your location. And while you're filling out the information for the exam, ACVREP guides you through that process to help find a testing site near you. Again, because this certification is through ACVREP, it's held to high standards, which also means that it's going to be proctored by a Pearson test site, and that it's going to be as regulated as possible. So that's good for the field. That's good for future CATIS instructors. So
I have a question. Can I be heard?
go ahead. Yeah.
Is the CATIS program, is it offered online, or would that need to be in person?
It is offered online.
Okay, gotcha. Good to know. Do you have any idea in terms of what the difference in cost in terms of the fee for each program might be?
The costs are going to be the same. The only difference is room and board. If you're on campus, of course, you're going to need meals and room and board and all the good stuff. So that's the difference.
Okay. And then if I were to do the ATI program first, which I've already enrolled for, started that process. And then if I wanted to then move from, once I finish the ATI, would I have to pay probably the additional fee to go into the CATIS program? Just is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks for joining.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Once completing this course, and then I'm assuming we would have to pass the actual certification, does this provide opportunities to be able to do independent contracting as far as assistive technology without, a state or federal agency referring and so forth?
Absolutely. Now, keep in mind, if you're an independent contractor, you're going to be someone's going to be referring clients to you, but because you have the CATIS certification, you meet Rehabilitation Services Administration guidelines to be a qualified assistive technology instructor. So you're going to meet the standards required by VR in your state to be a service provider. So you would be fine in that situation.
Okay, and then you mentioned one-on-one and some things need to be done, face-to-face. Are you referring to after the certification, or is it during the course we would have to do face-to-face trainings?
No, that's once you're employed. The question, that may have confused some people, I realize now. The question was, is there opportunities for employment as a remote instructor? And my hard answer is going to be no on that one, just because as you're saying, you've got to be hands-on.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
I have a question, please.
Go ahead.
What is your phone number again, please?
Our phone number, and Lee will put it in the chat as well, but our phone number is 501-664-7100.
Thank you.
And also feel free to follow us on Facebook, World Services for the Blind. And subscribe to our newsletter if you guys haven't already. That way you can catch any updates regarding other programs. As I said at the beginning, we're always trying to expand and provide the best services we can to help all of you find jobs and all of your consumers. If we've got any VR folks on here, find jobs. That's what we're about. So I will take one more question and then we'll wrap it up. I want to respect all of your time, but I thank you all for joining us. So one more question.
If you don't mind, I have one more. It is regarding the, so I applied to do the AT instructor program. Is there a separate application that I would need to fill out if I was interested in the CATIS?
No, but I will answer that in two parts. So as you know, we do a free online skills assessment, and I want to share that with everyone else. If you feel like you are interested in our online programs, we do a free online skills assessment that gives us an idea of where your skills are if you're prepared to do an online assessment. And then as far as the CATIS certification, we will walk you through all of the application process with ACVREP. We've got an awesome case manager and social worker here on campus who does a great job at managing all of that paperwork, and he will guide you through that process, and we'll make sure that you're not going that alone. So hope that helps. But again, if you guys have any questions, that's all we're going to take for today, but don't hesitate to reach out to us, training@wsblind.org, or just call us. We've always got people answering the phones, and if we can't get to you, we definitely got you. And we will eventually. So again, thank you all for joining. We appreciate it. We couldn't do it without you. And we're really excited for this program to take off.
Thank you for the presentation. Everything
Thank
sounds
you.
great. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.